Have you taken your meds today? That's meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. So meds is a term that was coined by Tim Baker. Tim Baker is the author of Patting the Shark. So Tim is a very close friend of my wonderful wife's, and Tim has been living with prostate cancer for the last 7 years. And this is a book, if you're looking at the video version of this, Patting the Shark by Tim Baker, I really recommend. Check it out, whether on audiobook or bookie book. But it's an amazingly inspiring story. Apart from that, Tim just went on and just researched the shit out of everything, had traditional and also non-traditional treatments, and he's a gorgeous surfer man and friend here on the Gold Coast. So I wanted to touch on this because meds, it was like, Tim, you bloody nailed it. He brought it down to that. Have you had your meds a day? So let's talk about it. Meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. So let's jump in. Meditation. What I learned decades ago when I started on this journey of natural therapies is that meditating doesn't mean you have to be sitting in the full lotus position on the top of a mountain chanting Om. I thought that meant meditation. It doesn't. Meditating means to do one thing at once, and starting just with our breath. So whether you do something like breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4, something simple like that. It's just about keeping your mind focused on that one thing, which can be breathing. And in the show notes to this episode, I'm going to put a link to a really good guided meditation, which can help you on the path of starting to work out what it's like to, breathe and meditate. So like I said, you don't have to be in the full meditation position or the full lotus position. So how much meditation a day is effective? Well, studies have shown about 10 minutes a day. That's not even 1% of our day. 1% of our day is 15 minutes. Is 15 minutes better than 10? Yes. Is 10 better than 5? Yes. Is 5 still worth it? Yes. Be still. Breathe. It's worth it. So a 2018 study of inexperienced meditators found that 8, but not 4 weeks of 13 minutes a day, 13, decreased negative moods, enhanced attention, improved memory, and decreased anxiety. So the secret is to start. If you've got 13 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just start. So remember to go to the show notes and check out the guided meditation by Dr. Alice McKinnon. The next one, E, stands for exercise. Now, Harvard Health reported that many people find that using large muscle groups in a rhythmic, doing repetitive fashion works best, and it's called a muscular meditation. So walking and jogging are real examples of what it can be like. So even a simple 20-minute stroll can clear the mind and reduce stress. 20 minutes, remember I said 15 minutes is 1% of your day. Even if you did 15 minutes, do you know what's really cool? Yes, they showed that 30 to 40 minutes of moderate exercise, and hit like fast, slow, is really, really useful for our body. But what they also found is that even doing, 1 or 2 10 to 15 minute chunks fits your day. If that fits your day, do that. We want to move our body to channel the stress, okay? And we want to pump our circulatory system. We want to build strong, lean muscle so that even things like our lymphatic system, which is a really lazy body system, gets pumped. There's so many benefits to our health as well as managing stress in moving our body every day. Also, doing a little strength training and stretching 2 or 3 days a week makes a big difference too. So a balanced program for kind of health and stress reduction is the absolute goal. So check out the show notes. I've thrown in there a Qigong session and a seated yoga session that you could even do at work, which will help you get some more movement into your day. So head over to the show notes to check them out. Now, diet. There's so much on diet, and so much of my podcast is all about diet. But the key for this was what Tim found in researching the research was a plant-based diet the majority of the time. You don't have to be vegan, but well and truly be vegetarian the majority of the time. So even if you're having, animal protein, you're having meats and things, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 nights a week. Imagine 2 nights a week you dropped it back. It's going to help your health. Or if you could turn it around and do 5 days a week is it's mostly plant-based, and then a couple of days a week is meat if you really still want to have meat, whatever it is. But you want to be close to nature, low on the refined and processed foods, but also majority of plant-based has been shown to be most beneficial, not just for treating with people with cancers, but just for our wellness in general. Now, the S in M.E.D.S stands for sleep. And I've done so many podcasts on sleep already, but the bottom line is we need, as naturopaths, we say you need between 7 and 9 hours sleep a night to recharge our adrenal glands. And that helps us deal with stress better. Your adrenal glands are where you produce your stress hormones. It's where you produce your adrenaline, that amp you up kind of thing. The more we can come from a place of prevention and help our body deal with stress, it makes such a different, response in every body system. And stress, worry, overwork will change our body chemistry from being alkaline to acidic faster than crap food, guys, faster than crap food. So come from prevention. Don't wait to get amped up. I am the biggest fan of managing my sleep. And you know what it's like if you've had a really good night's sleep, you know how you perform the next day versus if you have a crappy sleep, you're not on top of it. And you know that, you just don't deal with things so well. So the reality is nowadays, which is a bit sad, but things like shift workers, it's always been like nurses and things, but nowadays we have so many fly in, fly out, and in all the mining industry here in Australia, we have so many shift workers. It's incredible. It's a whole way of being now, way more than it used to be. It used to be like doctors and nurses were the main shift workers. It's across so many industries. And that screws up with your body because your circadian rhythm, your body's meant to be asleep when it's dark, and here you are awake. So we want to support shift workers because their sleep is always not going to be quite right. I used to travel a lot on long haul flights. I'd fly overnight to the States or Europe or something like that. And I'm about to start back into that kind of travel as a speaker again. And I'm big on managing my sleep on planes. Big. I put myself in the time zone straight away, and I'm very big on making sure I manage that. Caffeine, alcohol, they can also interfere with how our body is going to adapt to sleep. Now, one of the things that happens with sleep, if you think about the days that you go to the beach, if you go to the beach and it's a nice sunny day and you're out there and you're sucking in all the good energy, the negative ions of the ocean, the sun's beating down you, so you're full of literally sunlight for the day, our body produces natural melatonin. Okay, so our natural level of melatonin levels, they're topped up through the day, and they should be really nice and high at night. So from people, being indoors more nowadays and stuff like that, they're not getting the same amount of melatonin. And melatonin is a wonderful natural hormone that helps our body with its sleep cycle, its natural sleep cycle. It's an important thing. So when I would travel or I'm on a long haul flight, I'm a big fan of melatonin, like a huge fan of melatonin. I've used it for years, decades, to be able to help me to sleep. And I totally use it as part of my natural kind of nighttime ritual nowadays as well. So if you wanted to check that out, let me know. If you're in Australia, only a doctor can prescribe melatonin. They'll prescribe about 2 milligram, unless you're over 55. It's 61, which is wonderful. If you're over 61, your pharmacist, your local pharmacist, can actually prescribe it. But if you're under 55, a doctor has to prescribe it. Now, if you're in North America, you can buy melatonin in any drugstore. I'm not sure about Europe, but well and truly in North America, you can buy it on every street corner in every drugstore. Simples. It's one of those boring natural things in nature that's not going to do you any harm to take on a regular basis if you are someone dealing with sleep issues, because sleep is so important to our health on so many levels. Now, adaptogens, I bang on about adaptogens all the time. Adaptogens are a class of herbs that they adapt to what you're doing. So if you take them in the morning, for instance, and you're buzzing around the place, they will give you more energy. They will wake you up. If you take them at bedtime, which is how I have done for 3 decades, guys, more than 3 decades now, I take a dose of adaptogen herbs. I'll put a link in the show notes so you can go and check that out. But I take a dose of adaptogen herbs right as I'm going to sleep. Now, the key is right as you're going to sleep, because if you've got like a 15-20 minute window. If I take them, and I actually keep the bottle in my ensuite, because if I had to get from the kitchen to my bedroom, I'm a typical woman, I'll do 10 more things before I get to the bedroom. So I have it there, I take it, I brush my teeth, I lay down, go to sleep. And that's the best way to take it, because it helps our body really drop down into that hormone recharging kind of sleep. So sleep is just so valuable. And I'm a big fan of both melatonin and adaptogens to help support your sleep. So the healthy life hacks are really simple. Mindfully take your meds every day. Mindfully take your meds every day. Meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. Meditate even 5 to 10 minutes a day. Be still, breathe, be still. Cool. Exercise, move your body in some way every day. Again, even if it's 10 minutes, walk around the block, get our bodies moving. D, diet, plant-based the majority of the time. And then sleep, really focus on getting between 7 and 9 hours sleep a night. I promise your health will change. So if you're wanting to get the show notes, head over there. I'll actually put a link to Tim's book in there. I'll also put a link to the couple of adrenal tonics that I like to take, and to a guided meditation by Dr. Alice McKinnon, and also her Yoga Nidra, her guided relaxation there, and a Qigong that you can use in the workplace or at home. So head to the show notes, www.healthylifehacks.com.au, to grab all those links for free. See you guys.